What's up, everybody? Today's August 18th, 11 o'clock, 11:34. Today is episode 2 of Finding Your Way with Easy. Last week we had him do some reading on Mark Douglas trading in the zone. He's going to share a couple of his tips or a couple of his lessons learned, and then we'll jump into his strategy and how the trading week went with him and his trading, um, and seeing if he's sticking to the trading rules that he's created or started creating. So Easy, take it away. What'd you learn this week with trading in the zone?
Hi everyone, Easy Win here. So this week, yes, I had to read the book. Well, yeah, I had to read the book Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Chapter one of the things that I learned, they were talking about attitude. So attitude in life is whenever you face a problem or whenever you face a challenge, I'll call it, it's how you react to it. And then that's how your attitude is gonna develop either to get better or to get worse from that event. If I can give you guys an example, just real quick, they were talking about a guy who's scared of dogs during in the book. So being scared of dogs, dog can bite you, or if not, they can be playful. So that man had a kid, but the kid wasn't afraid of dogs. So dogs at the same time, like we said, can be nice, or at the same time they can be mean. So in my case, what happened is that whenever I'm trading, sometimes my attitude will change depending on what's happening on the chart. Let's say if I'm going long and then all of a sudden there's a big red candle that happened, I start panicking. And when you start panicking, just like in front of a dog, the dog is barking at you, you're scared, you're afraid. You can either be paralyzed, so therefore you don't know what to do, you can't run. If not, you can choose another attitude, which is as well to run from the problem. In my case, when a big red candle happened, I usually close the trade just because I'm afraid. Even though it didn't reach my stop loss or whatever, it was still according to plan. But big red candles usually scares me. So one of the things that I have done in order to, I'll say, overcome that fear, I just learned to trade on both sides. So I can go long just like I can go short. So now I'll have to say, whenever I see a big red candle, they don't scare me that much. I am still scared of it, or if not, I know how to handle it. But yeah, whenever I see a big red candle, if I'm in a short position, that's a good news for me. So that's one of the way that I learned to control my attitude toward big red candles.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why this morning I said that you have to kind of try to learn to chart both ways, or not both ways, but both scenarios, right? Because you can have a pattern, but what happens if that pattern doesn't work out? Like, it's like a falling wedge breakout, right? You're like, let me see. You have a falling wedge right here coming down, right?
Um,
But what's a falling wedge? You see it right now. You see the two yellow lines. It's kind of hard. I probably should change the.
oh, okay. I thought you were showing your screen, but yes, I see it.
Oops.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Right here. Oops. Kind of messed up line. But you get the point. You got a falling wedge breakout, but a falling wedge breakout is right here. Go this way, right? Because that's what the move implies, but it didn't. It's still going down, even though you're like, what the heck? So what you gotta try to do to kind of calm those nerves when you're in a trade and it's not going to your trade plan. Okay, what's your exit strategy? Your exit strategy, like today, you asked the question is, okay, let's say you got on that trade and it hits your target or it shied your target. How do you know when to get out? You asked the 10 SMA, right? So
Yeah.
that's what your exit strategy should be. Your exit strategy should be like, okay, if it breaks below the 10 SMA, there is a possibility that it can come all the way back down to the 50 SMA. Is the 50 SMA um above your entry or is it below your entry? If it's below your entry, you might want to stop out. Even though if it was a small green, yeah, you didn't let it run, you didn't let the play out, you still locked in green and you're able to reset. Maybe it was choppy that day and your play showed up, but it was just choppy because it was the day before FOMC. And easy, you'll start to see those patterns where the day before FOMC is your play sets up a certain way. So that's what you're gonna start to try to try to develop is you want to try to develop, okay, how is price action the day before? How does my strategy play into the day before data? How does my strategy play in during data or the day of data? And then you're going to
Okay.
start to see these patterns play out. And then when you see a big red candle and you're like, oh shit, I'm going to get out because, like let's say you're long because you seen that this might have been a possible higher low, this little red right here. I wouldn't have got in right there, but let's just, hypothetical. You thought you were gonna go in, and then this big red candle knocks you out. You're like, fuck. Well, what other stop can I get in? Oh, I like that you put your EMAs right here or your moving averages.
Yeah. I mean, I noticed that it was one of the questions that people are always asking, what's the 10, what's the 50? So I figured I'd just put it so that you guys see it as a reference.
Nice.
Um,
Um, but yeah, that lesson, that lesson is a great lesson to share because that book kind of shows you how to keep those emotions in check. And as you get more into the book, you'll you'll start to be like, oh, okay, this is why I start feeling that way. And then once you're done with that book and you jump into the hour between the dog and the wolf, you're like, whoa, this is like way more advanced. But by then you'll be like, oh, okay, this is how I can develop my gut algo. And I would highly recommend you listen or read that book. So as we go through this process, you're developing your gut algo with good habits. It's like feeding your gut,
yeah,
probiotics.
correct.
Uh, it's gonna take a little bit, but once you got the good probiotics and prebiotics or whatever you need for your gut, then you're gonna be laser. So once you're done with that book, but did you learn anything else?
But I mean, I did learn a second point. The second interesting thing that I did learn was regarding a trading plan. Like, whenever you're facing your day before you start trading,
Hmm.
you need to have a bias plan. What are you gonna do during that day?
Yep.
I don't know if you guys are short trader or long trader.
Hmm.
Me, I always ask myself the question: is today going to be a long day or is today going to be a short day? And of course, that I always take that decision based on what the 20-minute chart is doing, right?
Yep.
So that's what I reserve myself to. But on the other hand, when I'm listening to, let's say, somebody who's much better than me, I'm talking, of course, about like if you're listening to a radio, if you're watching YouTube. But in my case, I listen to Brandon in the morning. And Brandon had, let's say, have a specific bias. Either he's going short or long. Then I find out most of the time what happened is that if I don't follow my trade plan, I try to follow somebody else's plan. At the end of the day, or I'll say even 80%, I didn't do any statistic there, but 80% of the time I end up red. And at the end, I realized that my trading plan that I had in my head, that's exactly what played out. So this is one of the things that I'm trying to cope with right now.
And that's something that's hard with a lot of new traders because like we're in kindergarten, freaking Brandon, he's like in college already. So his eyes, his screen time that's that he's developed with his however many years, decade plus years of trading, his eyes are more advanced, so he can see candle development that's way more advanced than we can. So we're still in kindergarten, and as we go through this, you're gonna go to first grade. You're gonna start developing better candle and price action development. Uh, but one of the things that I stressed to Lasagna Cat when he was going through is stick to your plan. We're not at Brandon's level yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. But you need to stick to what you know and your trade plan. That's why Brandon says he wants to teach us how to fish. He doesn't want to hand us fish. He wants to teach us how to catch them, right? And that's what he's doing, except he's teaching us kindergartners how to do it. And we're like, well, you're trying to jump, unless you're a
Mhm.
genius, you're not going to go to college right out the gate. Um,
That's rare.
so
That's
you're,
very rare.
so you're exactly, so you're not, you got to take your steps. You got to graduate from kindergarten and promote up to first grade and then junior high and then high school and then,
Yeah.
Brandon's level. Me, I'm probably like at junior high. I'm not even at high school yet. And I'm still learning. I've been with BRT for like 6, 7 years, maybe even
Wow.
8 years.
Wow. Okay.
But I wasn't consistent back then. And then I'm starting to, okay, you got to develop systems. Just like a business or a job, you got to develop a system and then stick to it. Standard operating procedures, right? That's what every business has. And when a business deviates from that or a trader deviates from their trading plan, shit can hit the fan. The odds are going to be not in your favor, if you don't stick to your trading plan. And that being said, you can be right. Brandon can be right in the same sentence or in the same play. You might say he might say he's short biased and you might be long biased, but you get the pop. So it might
Mhm.
have been long out the gate. Let's just, for example, say out the gate, he's saying short, you're saying long, right? In your head.
Yeah.
But what sometimes happens, it's a pop to drop, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes what happens is dip to rip. Okay, but when is that pop gonna max out and when is that drop gonna max out? And
Correct.
you can be right out the gate, right? Because you're long out the gate, but the daily trend was short, which he was technically right. But you're right in the pop, and that can happen both ways.
Yeah. Also, I guess that's where this is where I find the beauty in trading is the fact, like you said, right? It's one candle. Inside that one candle, people make money going up and people make money going down.
Yep.
So I guess the big difference is when Brendan is talking, I don't know, like maybe I don't have the same time frame as him, but yeah, he's usually right. Like he's usually
Plus,
right.
what I found out like today, doing going live, and I know a lot of traders in our chat sometimes complain saying, "Hey, why did Brandon trade when he said he's not trading? Or why did
Yeah.
Brandon go long when he said the trend is short?"
Yeah.
What I learned today is that that's fucking hard to do because you're trying to narrate, you're trying to narrate what's going on, and not only that, trying to guide you guys through, whatever, but his brain picks something up that he's familiar with and he's in the trade and he clicks buy or sell, whatever, and he's in the trade. And then he says, well, I'm in now. And he's right, but that's like he's trying to do four things at once. And that's
Yeah.
kind of impossible to do.
Multitasking.
There's no such thing as multitasking. There's task switching. Because
That's which
it's called task switching because you don't have your full focus on that single task, whatever
correct.
task it is.
Mhm.
So that's why it's called task switching. And I learned that through some seminar, work seminar that I went to. There's no such thing as multitasking. Because I would always like I'm a network engineer and I can update a network switch right while I'm working on this other router. So that's kind of multitasking in a sense, but you still don't have your full. Trust me, even though I've done that, there's times where I fucked up and broke a switch because I don't have the full attention of that. But anyways, back to the point. Stick to what
Perfect.
you know, stick
Yeah.
to what you just stick to your trading plan. Whatever your trading plan is in the day. And this is why I always told Lasagna Cat before you read the daily notes, do your own market analysis with the knowledge that you've been given. Go do your market analysis. Like this morning, I said, I go through the weekly and then I kind of get my bias there. Okay. So if it's been long weekly, then I might think there's going to be a daily short trade, right? So then I go confirm with the daily. Okay, what does the daily look like? What does the moving averages look like? Does it look like there's going to be a pullback on the daily? And then you mark off levels there. And then you go into the 30-minute, see if there's any support resistance levels there or any big significant plays. Paying attention to gaps, dojis, high range candles, and floating candles. And then you go to the 5. What does the MACD, RSI? You have to create a system, and this
Yeah.
is what you're gonna start creating. Whatever system you're using, whether if you're not using TTM, don't add it yet. We can if any of this don't like. I only see volume. What do you actually
Mhm.
really trade with?
Me right now, okay, this is exactly because I use TOS at the same time with Ninja Trader. On Ninja Trader, I have exactly that. As you see, these are all the moving averages that I use. That's it. That's all.
Okay.
That's based on yeah, on Ninja Trader.
So we probably won't have to add anything. We might add TTM if that helps you. If not, don't even worry about it. We're not
Yeah,
gonna try to throw more shit in there to confuse you. We're
correct.
just gonna add, if we add stuff, it's gonna be to
Mhm.
enhance whatever your whatever level you're at.
Yeah. I mean, I
Um,
used to I did use TTM before, and then I found out that I wasn't looking at it that much. That's the reason why I just removed it from my chart. But in TOS, yeah, this is why I had the TTM.
yeah,
But yeah, I did remove it.
and that's fine. If you didn't know how to use it, or like I didn't know how to use it until Brandon made the TTM video on YouTube a few months ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and then I went and researched it more on my own outside. I read a book, I
Mm-hmm.
watched a couple more YouTube videos to actually get a sense of how other people use it. And then I took out what I could use on the elite system from those other users. I didn't completely change my strategy to the other users the way they use it, but I pulled out whatever made sense in the elite strategy. Like the two-legged pullback, I took out the entry out of that play.
Yeah,
Uh, and I implement it with the elite strategy or the pattern day breakouts or pattern move price action move breakouts. If it lines up with my elite strategy, then yeah, I don't let it confuse me and kind of blur my vision. Um, but yeah, you're gonna do your market analysis and then you're gonna read the daily notes. Do you guys compare or do you guys contradict each other? Um, and then figure out because you got to figure out his scenario, right? Because his scenario might play out, but your scenario might play out too. And then when you do the daily notes and then you start trading and you start to say, oh shit, Brandon's scenario might be playing out instead of mine. That's just going to teach you how to reset. Like, okay, if you start to see this, it might be Brandon, you might be seeing exactly what Brandon is. But if it starts to do this, Oh, I'm seeing all the moves that I usually see. I'm seeing all the pullback. Like you said, this is usually my entry. Remember, you always say this is usually my entry, and
Yeah,
then it was play,
exactly.
right? It went your
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
Um, Even though Brandon is like, okay, it can go that way, and it did go long, but it also went Brandon's way too.
correct.
Um, but you were right. Don't let nobody change that from you. And once you get into the hour between the dog and the wolf, you'll start to know like, oh my, developing that gut algo the right way and how to develop a good trade plan. And if that trade plan, whatever the chart is giving you, and
Yeah,
you'll start to tie the price action to your emotions. But when you'll start to see the signals and you'll be like, oh, I need to put that in check. You'll put that in check. You'll just stick to whatever your trade
my
plan
trading
is.
plan.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Cool. Thanks for sharing.
All right.
So yeah, let's jump into how your trading week went and maybe what's your daily goal and how many trades have you been trading per day
Hmm.
and how your week went.
Okay. Well, overall, my week went well, except, I mean, there's 2 days, and I think on Monday, I didn't take a trade on Monday. The reason why I didn't take a trade is because I reached my daily goal for like 2 days or 3 days of the week. So that's why I didn't take a trade. I didn't bother on Monday, and then I was busy as well. So, but if not, my daily goal right now, I'm trying to aim for 500. I mean, I know it might sound a lot, but at the same time, I'm trying not to wrap my head around the amount. I'm more focusing on the points that I'm getting, like playing like when I'm playing the ES.
Hmm.
That's what I'm focusing on. So whenever I trade, I usually take two contracts at the same time. And also I started
Good.
journaling my trade. So this is the first trade. That first trade, I took it on Sunday night. That trade right here, based on my strategies, the moving average cross, and I'll also add a few price action, tagged to it.
Hmm.
So again, right now the green line is my 10, and then the red is my 50. I waited for a while on this one because I remember I was playing PlayStation, and then once on the 5 minute, as you can see, I got the cross right here. This is when I took my trade. Based on what we talked last week, if I'm not mistaken, I think I was supposed to enter here on that second candle because I remembered after and I was like, ah, shit, I didn't follow the rule. The rule was to get the confirmation because here I got the cross. I mean, not the cross. The price went below, but it's not confirmed. I didn't wait for the next candle to open or to develop. So I did jump early on my trade, and then I took it, and then this is where I covered. I covered 50% of it. It was a good trade, and then it made me a decent amount of money. I was like, wow, like the week already started pretty well.
Hmm.
On this trade, because I took two contracts, I covered one. I was like, let's keep one and then follow and see what's going to happen. So while I'm watching it, that big green candle right here just scared me. I was like, okay, now if we break that candle, then I have no choice but to get out because the price might reverse. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. And then which is exactly what it did here. It freaking went up, wigged me out. I closed my trade, and then it went even down more, 10 more points. I was so frustrated after that,
We'll
but
get
I was
there.
still happy. But
W-
because it was a green trade, but I think I followed the right strategy on this one, just to be safe than sorry on that case.
Yeah. Awesome trade. There's a couple things that you can start looking at that will um kind of help you anticipate because one of the biggest things um when you're developing that gut algo is learning to anticipate the move. Um, and this is where Brandon is really, really good at, where he's like, oh, it's gonna squeeze in the next candle. and he's like laser spot on the squeeze or the dump or whatever because he's developed that. But what I see right here is a falling wedge. Let me see if I can do this straight. Hold on one sec. Oops.
Oh, okay, that's falling wedge. Okay, I see what you're talking about.
And this is where price action patterns kind of come into play. And this is where um I tell you that you need a chart both ways because a falling wedge should break out up, not down. Right? But when you combine price action reader, if you're a price action or if you're a support and resistance trader or demand and supply trader, is if when you combine them with the moving average and a regular price action reading, is
Mhm.
it's awesome play because you see lower highs forming right here, right? Lower highs,
Correct.
it's a
Yeah.
falling wedge. And this is where I said you need to map out both ways because if it breaks out right here, oops, hold on one sec. If it breaks out right here on this candle, if it breaks up over here, then you know it's probably going to go up.
Yeah.
But you need a chart down because it could go down too. And what tells you on this play that it might go down is the loop of the 10. This is a 10, right? This right here.
The green is the 10. Yeah, that's right. That's it. Yes.
Oops. So we had that falling wedge. Sorry about the lines now. But anyways, it looped the 10 right here and it created that lower high and it confirmed right here when it broke right there. You could have waited until it crossed over here, but you would have been a little bit more
Yeah, more down. But at the same time, also I do watch the 1 minute.
oh, what is
Wait, I
this? Oh, 5 minute.
this is the 5 minute. Yeah, this is the 5 minute. So this is the same thing that was happening on the 1 minute. So I did take yeah, I take a screenshot of it. So yeah, that's
Nice.
the same
Perfect.
play on the 1 minute.
So you still have that falling wedge, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
Um, and then
yeah, I
right,
see.
it kind of confirms it, and then you could have got in right there. See where it would have gave you the entry on the 5 minute right there,
Hmm.
right where it broke the 10,
Yeah,
and it never confirmed it. And then you could have locked in your trade down here if it shied it from here if you wanted to, locked in. As soon as you start seeing these candles, see these little small candles, how they're kind of full and then they get smaller and smaller. They kind of slow it down.
which candles are you talking about? Around B or C?
Over here, right above. Oh, hold on. I always gotta right here. These candles.
Okay, this one. Okay, around B. Okay.
Yeah, these candles
Yeah.
right here. You kind of be like, okay, we might get a pop. Where can it pop to? It can pop right here
Yeah.
because you got a
But I was
fresh low.
expecting a break of the 666.
Yep.
So that was my target right there. That yellow line.
So you could have stayed in the trade, or you start to see those kind of candles, you be ready. But you
Hmm.
got in way up here, so it doesn't really matter, right? Because you
Yeah.
could have attached it to the 10 SMA or even this is the 50. This
Um,
here.
I'm sorry, I didn't put that up. Let me put it up so that you can see it. Yeah.
And I'm colorblind, so
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
colorblind. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
you're
So
fine. You're fine. It's just
the
I could see these. I'm not like completely colorblind, but when they're thin lines right here, it's either red or black or
Okay, yeah, that's red. That's the red
I can
line.
see
The
this
red line is the
blue
50.
and this pink, but yeah,
Uh,
sometimes uh but anyways, you might want to think, especially when it shies it, sometimes it can reverse right here and go up.
exact.
So get in
But
the
I
habit
also, yeah, go
of
ahead, go ahead.
of of locking in 75, 50% when you're up big, especially.
Correct.
Lock it
That's
in so
exactly what
like
I
that
did.
if it
I
goes
locked in the
in,
50%.
in case it doesn't go your way, just kind of like you did right here. I mean, you held it, right? but you said you walked away. Just like that, you would
Yeah.
lock in wherever you're like, oh shit, past my target. Okay, I'm locking in 75%, and the rest I'm gonna put a target. You could have put a target down here for some reason. I'm not sure why you would have. And then attached it to the 50
Mm-hmm.
moving average or the 666, whatever moving average. And with Ninja Trader, you can do that. But
Yeah.
make sure you do that Control Z, because if you don't do that Control Z before you put your orders in, then it's not going to cancel out your order, and you might end up going short more when
Uh,
we're not wanting to go short when the move's already played out.
the Control Z, is that a short key? I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, it's a short key. Let me share my screen so I can hold on one sec. Where did my stuff go? Uh, so you see my chart right here,
Yeah.
Ninja Trader, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me bring in this chart over here. So you see the little OC?
Yeah.
That's other cancel. So when you're in the trade, right, and you want to put a stop loss, and I'll just get in on Sim. It's just not that bad. So I'm in the trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it completely fell. Um, and then my target is the 50 SMA. We'll just put that. The 50 SMA. Oh, never mind. I have to hit Control Z, and then you see that, and then put your order in.
Okay.
And then you're gonna attach it. You're gonna hit Control, hold Control, and then see how you click on the order, it'll attach
Yeah.
it. Uh,
Okay. I used to do the right click in order to do all that.
yeah, you can use Control, especially on
Okay.
Ninja Trader. So we'll lock in 3. No, we have to lock in 4. And then we'll put a stop loss down here. So now, if you don't do Control Z before you put in your orders, only your buy order is going to hit, right? And
Yeah.
let's say it hits and then it comes down and fills my orders. It's going to, I'm going to be shorting the market down here when it might pop off the 666.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Okay.
that's what I mean.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I
and
get it.
and
Thanks.
then attach your orders, and then you'll be good. If you want to use the ATM strategy, you can do that too. Instead of using Control Z, you can just use the ATM strategy and then attach the, see how I cancel my order.
Yeah.
Um, with the ATM strategy, it'll automatically cancel them for you, but you would have to manually attach the orders to the moving averages if those are your targets.
All
Uh,
right. That's
Go
good.
ahead and share your screen. Uh,
Share screen one.
so you've been hitting your daily goal, you said, of
Yeah.
$500.
Correct. Yeah. I've
And
been
how
hitting my
many?
daily goal and then
And
and how many trades?
yeah, how many trades are you taking? 4, 5, 3?
I'm taking less than 5 trades, which is very rare because I used to do much more than that. I'm just trying to discipline myself. That's the reason why I've been taking less than 5 trades. But
Awesome.
usually by 2 to 3 trades, I reach the goal, and sometimes even one, I reach the goal.
Nice.
Uh, but then again, like I said, I need to stop over trading. I need to limit myself to discipline myself so that I can just keep the money that I made.
Discipline equals consistency. Patient equals consistency, you know? And
Mhm.
that's why I had told you in the pre-meeting, like working out after reading I don't know, I'm gonna keep referring back to the Dog and the Wolf book because it goes deeper into the psychology and how you develop your trading gut and your trading mindset. And it talks about a lot of hormones and being able to get in a routine. Getting in a routine and sticking to that routine creates discipline, which then translates to trading. You
Mhm.
know, you be disciplined, you're going to discipline to your strategy. You're going to stick to your strategy. Stick to what you see and what
Yeah.
you know. And
Mm.
then that's going to transfer in equal consistency because it all just falls into place. And that book will teach you about hormones and how to like balance them out. And if you're having a hazy day, like you shouldn't even be trading.
Mhm.
That's what a lot of like guys that work in the stock market on the stock market floor, if they're not feeling good or if they're hungover or whatever, they won't go
They
in
don't
and
trade.
trade.
They
Um,
have the good life, them.
exactly. Out freaking late nights doing coke and partying all night. Like
No
the
trades.
wolf on Wall Street.
Yeah,
I,
exact.
I did
uh
that. I did that on Monday. I wasn't doing coke, but like
I was like, what were you doing?
damn.
but
That's
on
how a cat
Monday,
likes to party hard.
yeah, I party, one life. Yeah, on Monday I felt hazy, so I didn't trade.
Yeah, and that's the best
Okay.
thing. Like Brandon always says, like if you're not feeling good, preserve capital is the best trade. Preserving capital.
And
Um,
that feels good too. It's rewarding. Like when when you know you're not feeling it and you stay away, it actually feels good. Like
yeah,
you feel like
definitely.
a good person.
And not taking
I'm
a big red, would
yeah.
really fucking pay off. But that's
I wanna
awesome. That's awesome to hear that you're stick and that goes to prove that you can hit your goal, even though it seems kind of like you can't hit it. You said most of the time you're hitting in 2 or 3 trades, and that's how it should be.
yeah.
And that habit and those those habits are
Right.
gonna translate to your live trading.
Yeah, that's what I need to do to stop over trading. That's my biggest dilemma right now.
Yeah, take that momentum into the next day, man.
Mhm.
Instead of and then not only that, once we jump into the scaling up, you're gonna be hitting 500 for like 2 weeks, and then the next week you're gonna be hitting 1,000 a day.
Perfect.
We're gonna
Oh,
slowly scale you up.
nice. I just want to show you real quick the second trade that I took on the week. So the first trade was on Sunday, and like I said, I didn't trade on Monday because I reached the daily goal for like 2 days. So I was like, you know what? Let me skip it just to practice on my patience. But as well, it's because I was busy at work, so that's why I didn't trade. To be honest. Now the trade on Tuesday that happened. So if I'm really sticking to my strategy, because right now the daily chart and also the 20-minute is on a downtrend, so it's the chart is looking bearish. So if I really wait for my setup, stock market open at 9:30, I took my first trade. It was like 2-3 hours later. So this is when I said I get bored, and then I'm like one trade a day. I guess I'm not satisfied. But on the other hand, I did reach my goal. The trade was successful. Exactly as usual. I took a short on the tag of the 50 SMA right here. And then I covered exactly when it hit the 10 SMA. That's it. It was just one trade that I took that day, and then I was able to meet my goal. Um, Hello?
Oh yeah, sorry. I was talking
Oh,
to
okay.
myself. I was muted. Um, what I see here is the first legged pullback entry that you could have taken and the confirmation and it had your 1050 cross like you said you like to
Yeah.
do. So look at Here's the first leg of pullback. I gotta do yellow now. Hold on one sec.
I mean, I have it on toss if you want.
It's all good.
Uh,
Right here's fine.
okay.
So
Yeah.
you got the first legged pullback. Boom, right there, right? You got that low right there, or the high, because when you're going short, it's the pullback high candle.
Yeah.
But you got the 1050 SMA cross right there before that. So right there, you're already thinking to yourself, and this is why narrating your trade, and you'll start, and I want you to start doing that, is okay, I got the 50-50 cross, or I got the 1050 cross. I want to see a pullback to the 10 SMA, and it's going to line up with the 50, right? With the 50 SMA as well. I want to see a lower high off the 50 or 10 SMA, either one, because they're bunched up right there. Either one makes sense, right? So
Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
that. Boom, check. That's already two criterias right there. You got the 50-10 cross, and then you got
Yeah.
a lower high confirmation off the 10 and the 50 right here. That's
Yeah.
two. So now you're waiting for a break below this. So a tick below
Below.
this green candle. So
Okay.
then you might have got it on that red. If you didn't, this one would have been a better entry with your stop up here.
Yeah. I mean, no, I didn't, because my eyes aren't used to enter, let's say, on the break of a level or
Yeah.
of a candle yet. So I usually refer myself to the MA, to the moving averages. So that's why I waited like 2-3 hours just to take a trade, and my
Yeah.
trade was exactly right here.
You'll start
But
to develop that trading eye where you're like, oh, I got the cross. And then if you use that first legged pullback, you're getting in right here with momentum down.
yeah,
Along with that, if you look down to the bottom of the screen, is that a pullback under the RSI 50 in the cat stacker? That middle red line?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
because
looked like it because
because that yeah,
it
that
went down and then boop
yeah, when it retests the moving averages.
and then boom.
So, yeah, because if you got that 50 RSI combined with the moving averages, then you can feel real confident by the time you get down to that first legged entry.
Yep. So that's what you're saying is I want to see a lower high off the 10 and the 50. And I'm glad you brought that up, Lasagna Cat. The 10 and the 50, right? You got the lower high, and then you want to see a lower high below the 50 RSI.
below the 50 RSI,
Yep.
lower high below the 50 RSI. Okay.
If you're going short, if you're
Yeah.
going long, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
But that would give you confidence in this play. And it's the same play that you're used to doing, right? Because
Yeah.
you say you
Exactly.
want the cross, and then you're learning to get that pullback. And who knows, maybe on the 1 minute you probably would have got a better pullback. Where
Let
you probably would have gotten up here somewhere.
let me show you. I have the 1 minute as well, I think. Yeah, so this is the 1 minute. What happened? Yeah, this is the 1 minute. Yeah. Short 1 minute on August 15th.
And what moving average is this one
Uh,
here?
which one you're
Up here,
referring to?
the one on the top.
The one on the top is the 200. Yeah, that was the 200.
And then this is a 666, huh?
The 666, yes, correct.
So that's the high. But see on the 1 minute it shows kind of like a bullish pattern.
But on the other hand, it was bullish on the 1 minute, but
It
it's because I was following my strategy. On the 5 minute, it was bearish. So
No, that's
it's a
fine.
higher
You
time
you
frame.
can still do because it's a rising wedge breakout. So this is supposed to break down. So
Yeah.
as soon as it breaks that, you're getting in right there on this candle, which lines up like, I don't know, 44.69 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you would get in right there. What does the 5 minute look like? Can you go back to the 5 minute?
Yeah. The 5 minute. This is the 5 minute.
So the 5 minute,
Yeah, it
you
was
would
going up on the 5 minute.
you would have got in right here. Oh, it's that SPY. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you would have got in, kind of hard to.
Okay, it's hard to. Yeah, I know.
No
Me too. I
worries.
have problem difficulty matching the level of the spy and also with the
But
ES
if
where
you
it's
see
supposed to be.
something on SPY, especially during open hours, stick to SPY, especially
Mhm.
during open hours.
Yeah,
I
exact.
don't I don't I'm looking at ES, but I'm focused on both. Even though I'm a little bit more focused on ES
Hmm.
on the future side, and I know Brandon's a little bit more focused on the SPY chart.
Yeah.
And both can be right. Um, but I tend to focus a little bit more on the ES side, especially with the dojis that they love to create.
Hmm.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I gravitate to MES, because MES has a lot more dojis than ES.
Okay.
Even though it's like a little fat body doji on ES, the MES is like a little, it's like a cross. It's like,
I wait, this is I have a question
yeah.
for you on this one. So during that trade, I clearly remember it. What happened is that once I took my entry was right here. I put my take profit, but my take profit was at that 50 SMA, but it was way below here.
Hmm.
Instead, price action kept pushing it up, pushing it up, pushing it up. And in which case, I keep moving higher my stop, my take profit. I keep moving it higher, moving it higher, moving it
Hmm.
higher. So I don't know. Did I do the right thing on this one, or should I have left it at where it was at that point and wait for it to come down?
That it depends. What chart were you trading? Were you trading off the 5 or were you trading the 1 minute?
Well, I took the entry on the 1 minute, but it was because of what was happening on the 5 minute right here.
And then you're
So the
happy with the 5 points or whatever points you
Oh
caught?
yeah, I mean, well, yeah, every green trade, I'm always happy. But I don't know if I should, I usually hear don't move your stop loss, don't move this, don't move that. So on
No,
this time
that's
it's a stop profit, but I did move.
no, that's totally up to you, dude. Go back to the 1 minute, especially at
Yeah.
the 1 minute 50 SMA. I would have
Mm-hmm.
locked in at the 50 SMA. I would have locked in, especially that's 5 points. It
Yeah.
looks like
Okay.
maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, it is five
If you're
points.
happy with 5 points, and you said this was a downtrend day,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, again, it's not because it's a downtrend day. It's because the chart, the 5 minute was bearish. So I knew it was a pop too short. So it
No, but
popped right here and then I shorted it.
this is where the daily trend helps.
Mm-hmm.
Is okay, is it going to be bearish for the daily, right?
Yeah, on the 30 minute was bearish. Yes, I
Because
confirm.
then that'll tell you, okay, this was a scalp or this was a good trade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if this was if this was not a bearish day, and the reason why I ask is if this was not a bearish day, then yeah, go off the 1 minute because the 5 minute might turn bullish, right? But
Exact.
if this was a bearish day, I would have said hang on until the 5 minute. Know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I would have recommended you to stay in longer, but I would have still recommended, hey, lock in 75 or 50% of your position here. Put your fishing order out on the 5 minute target and put your
For
stop. If it hits your if it hits your other target, I would have put like if your target on the 5 minute, go back to the 5 minute.
yeah.
So you got what's this? The 10 SMA? Yeah, huh? This is a 10.
Yeah, the red one, no, it's a 50.
The bottom one is the 10.
The bottom one is the 10, yes.
Yeah, so if you would have put your target right there, put your target right there, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And then your fish, I would have put my stop out maybe, yeah, probably would have left it there. And once it hit my 1 minute target locked in at the 50 SMA, right? Because you probably locked in right here.
Mhm.
I would have moved up my profit stop to probably like one, like
No,
right here.
actually, I did. Yeah, that's what I did, and then luckily I did it because right after that, you see the next candle. It was
Yeah, right
that
here.
5 minute candle.
Yeah,
It just pushed to the sky, and I was like,
yeah.
Jesus, what do we do in cases like this? I wasn't sure. I was like the hesitation was in me right there, and I didn't
Well,
know.
the best way to attack this and get you used to like being more patient and staying in the trade in the 5 minute is
Mhm.
lock in at a 1 minute moving average target and 75 or 50%, whatever you're comfortable with. And then put your target right here at the 10 SMA and then, you know, let it
Okay,
ride.
perfect.
Because that's going to create consistency because you're going to be green no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to shoot for is being green no matter what. Okay. Yeah, that's a good trade.
All right.
Especially if it's like 5 points.
Mhm.
Yeah, because look, it's going short. It's a short day from
Yeah, it was
previous,
a
probably too.
yeah. I mean, like, again, all week it's been a short day. So that's why I was bearish all week. Oh, you already changed. That was what? That was Tuesday, Wednesday. I think that was the data day, if I'm not mistaken. FOMC. I mean, the data for the FOMC something.
Yep.
Wait, let me just close this.
Wednesday was the day
Close
before,
that.
was PPI or
What happened here on Wednesday? Wednesday. Oh yeah, wait. This is the trade zone.
you went
Time
short here?
frame.
No.
I think I did. Oh yeah, I think I did. I think I did. I'm just trying to see what happened. I took some notes. Maybe I'd have to look at my notes. Yeah, so that's what happened on Wednesday. So okay, yeah, I remember. I think Wednesday was the day Brendan was talking. So yeah, it pushed up whatever at the open. And then I was like, okay, I'm getting ready to short. Um, it reached a level right there, 4462. Yeah, 4462. Yeah, exactly. This is what happened. Okay, now I remember. So on Wednesday, I took that short entry right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as I take it, I'm like, okay, now let's wait for it. I'm gonna wait till it comes back down, and then I'll cover. So it pushed higher, reach my the high of my candle that I entered, and then it even pushed even higher. So I panicked and then I just closed it. But as soon as I closed it, it just went down, and then I was like, ah, damn it. And it did exactly what I thought. But it's because at the same time, Brendan was saying that it's supposed to be a long day or something like that. It's supposed to pop. So it did scare me. So I didn't know how high it was supposed to go. So I closed my trade as soon as it passed my entry.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly what happened there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. So I stayed 5 minutes in that trade and then I closed it. And then the next two candle, it went down. That's my Wednesday. So yeah, on this one, that's that $89 loss that I told you about. So it wasn't, it was nothing, just was $89.
See, but right here, it doesn't look like you followed any of your rules
I'm
from
gonna
the
show
chart
you.
that I see.
Okay, so this is bullish on the 1 minute, but wait, where's the 5 minutes? I have the 5 minutes somewhere. Is this the 5 minute? This is the 1 minute. I'm looking for my 5 minute chart. Okay, so yeah, this is the on the SPY. This is what I was looking at. So it did pop and then it reached here, if I'm not mistaken. So it did touch the 10 SMA on the 30 minute. I don't know if you see it where I'm pointing.
Yeah, I see it.
Exact. So this was the pop too short. So it did pop and then I shorted right away. Like I didn't wait for a confirmation. And then if you even see it here on the 5 minute right here, it popped, I short.
Was that the whole play?
The whole play or
Like,
the home play?
like, like this screenshot on TOS is the whole. It's how it played out
Correct.
because it came back down and tagged right here, right?
Yes. And then after that, it went back up again, and then I stopped out.
Yeah, and this is go back to the 1 minute.
The 1 minute.
So I can't jump in if you have anything to add, but this is what I'm going to add is where exactly did you get in?
I got in exactly at 9:40. 9:40.
41,
Something like that.
61, 50. So you probably got it. Hold on, let me. It says 41.50, so you probably got in like right there. What don't you see right here that you need to see to be able to get in short? I know you saw I know what you saw in the 5 minute chart,
Yeah.
but what don't you see on the 1 minute chart that should have stopped you from getting in?
When I think about it, yeah, it wasn't below, let's say, the moving average. I think the momentum was still there just because it was on top of the moving average, based on my knowledge.
But you don't see a lower high, right? A confirmed
No.
lower high. You don't see
Correct.
that.
No.
You don't get the confirmed lower high until right here. Right here. Hold on, let me see. Until right here. Right? That's the lower
Yeah.
high. Not only that, you get a what's this pattern?
That head and shoulder thing you guys talk about.
That head and shoulder thing, yeah.
Because I don't use it, but I kind of recognize it because you draw it.
But no lower high. Shouldn't be getting in. Not right here, right? You could have got in right here if you followed your rules, a break of the 10.
A break of the 10. Okay.
And that green candle right here kind of did a pullback in one candle.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have probably got in here with the stop below a top there, and you wouldn't have got stopped out.
Okay, so which means I should wait on the break of that 10. Like this is my confirmation. The break of the 10 is one of the confirmation. Okay.
Well, not necessarily the confirmation, because you gotta look at other stuff like this and like this and like this. Right? That's your signal. That's gonna be your signal. The break of the 10.
Yeah.
Is gonna be okay. The break of the 10, I gotta start looking. What does RSI look like? Okay, or MACD. It looks good. It looks like we're gonna cross, right? Because this is a cross that I like to see. Brandon talks about the cross below the mean, below this line. I talk about this cross. So you got that. So you got that right here at the top, right?
Yeah.
So, and that signal right there, I said, okay, that's confirming. That's looking good. It's back into the normal range right here. That's good. Because usually that's kind of what happens.
Yeah.
And then you got oscillation right here going in your favor. So now all you got to do is look for a lower high confirmation. And you get it off the 10 right here. And that's the first leg pullback. And then you'd be getting in right here. and you would stop out right here somewhere.
Okay.
And then you
So
would write it to this moving average. That's where you would lock in
yeah.
75% of your position.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could stop out at the break of the 10 back over right here. So you would have stopped out right there and you would have still been green. But right here, there's no lower high.
Okay.
And not only that, look at draw out these patterns. You got a falling triangle or descending triangle breakout. Up. Okay, so I'll tell you this. The first leg pullback goes from here. Well, this could be the first leg, but within the first leg and the second leg, there can be a leg, right?
Yeah.
Because the whole move, there's actually 1, 2, 3, and then this would be the fourth leg. But here's one leg right here. That's one leg. And then from that leg, you got this leg, right? But the way you would measure this to figure out where it can go to is measure from here to here, right? Because most likely you'll get the same move from here to here. That move will equal from here to about here. And then there's always a third leg, but the third leg is usually like half of the move, half of the second move, half of this. So look,
Okay.
from here to here, it's about the same distance of from here to here. And not only that, you don't have a lower high. That's the
All right.
main takeaway. No lower high. And it didn't break your 10 SMA on the 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I always tell you, just because it tagged the level, don't get in. It
Yeah.
tagged your 5-minute level and it looks like you got in.
Yeah, well, that's exactly that's exactly what I did. Wait, where is it? It's right here. Yeah, it tagged it, I got in, came back down, and then after that went back up and then I got up. That's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, if you were going to do that, you might as well have stayed in on the 5-minute trade.
Not the 20-minute?
No, because you got in because of the 5-minute, right? You said that. So
Correct.
you're
Yeah,
trading the
exactly.
5-minute chart.
Yes,
Then
but it did coincide with the 20-minute.
you shouldn't have put your stop right here. I mean, you should have put your stop right there then.
Okay, higher than okay.
If you're going to get in on the 5-minute.
Mm-hmm.
But just be aware, it is a 5-minute and it's a lot more points.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's a little bit riskier, but that would have been the only thing if you would have put your stop on the 5-minute instead of on the 1 minute.
Okay, got it.
That and there's no lower high confirmation on the 1 minute. I'm just trying to teach you how to see, okay, interpret the 5-minute. Yeah, the 5-minute looks bearish for the 5-minute chart. But remember, the 1 minute looked a little bit bullish because it was
Yeah, it was
creating
actually.
higher lows,
Yeah.
right? And you're like,
Yes, exact.
well,
Ah,
you
okay, yeah.
you kind
One.
of got twisted here. You kind of got twisted with the 5 and the 1.
Yes.
Because yeah, you could have got in, but you got on the 1-minute chart, you got to wait for that lower high and follow your rules. You got a good strategy. Follow your rules. But we're starting to create rules. So start taking notes. Okay, there's lower high. Make sure the lower high confirms off of the 10 SMA. or you know what I'm saying? Or if you're reading price action, hey, it's a head and shoulders. It's forming. Let me wait for the right shoulder to form. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It worked out. Boom. And then look at and it went, and I think I played this because I remember how it looked. It went from a head and shoulders, right? To an inverted head and shoulders. You see that?
Yeah, I see it. I mean, I see it. Now that you draw it, I see it. But like
Now
I
you're
said,
going,
my eyes aren't used to
and
these
you'll,
patterns.
hey, no worries. This, just be aware of them and start paying attention to like, oh, okay, it does make sense. Don't get in because of the trade pattern.
Mm-hmm.
That'll come later. How to chart both ways on that pattern. So don't even trip off that. Just keep on going with your strategy. And we're gonna lock it in. We're gonna lock her in, buddy. Uh, we'll get her. Look at. Uh, oh yeah, that's probably why you got stopped out. And it's a good stop out, dude. Don't it. Good thing you didn't like stop out way up here, right?
Yeah,
You stopped out
I
kind of tight. But like I said,
yeah,
if you would have put your stop out on the 5 minute, it would have been like right here. And then you would have been good. You probably would have
yes.
added right there.
Um,
I don't know. You probably don't scale in and out like that, but
no,
that's like
I
that
don't, not yet.
that's Brandon's level.
Okay.
I haven't even got that far. That's what I'm saying. I'm in junior high right now. Because I'm still scared of adding, especially when I'm going with the trend. Because you never know if it's gonna reverse on you.
Okay. I have a question real quick. So I did take down. So just because it hit the level doesn't mean I have to get into the opposition. But then I need to start looking for my entry. So in this case, the entry or whatever, maybe confirmation was because it break the fifth, because it break the 10 SMA or because
Hmm.
it started making a lower high.
Both, both.
Both. Okay.
What? Okay, so what you're gonna do is look at the strength. Remember, you asked me, how do you know it's going to the 666?
Yeah.
The strength of the candle. Look at their full bodies.
Mm-hmm.
It breaks a 10 SMA with that kind of bodies, with this type of candles. You're already signaling
You're going
before
down.
you even get the lower high. You're already saying, okay, it broke the 10 SMA. It looks like a inverted, like a head and shoulders. Now let me see what the MACD looks like. Okay, the MACD right here looks like it's gonna cross bearish. And okay, what's TTM look like? Okay, it's going back into the zone. It's all right. Perfect. Some people don't trade RSI. Once it breaks right here, there's traders that get in at the break of the back to the normal RSI. Not us, right?
Yeah.
Because we
Okay.
wait for the confirmation. Um, and then once it comes back over here, you're good. You see volume red coming in. There's this green, but there's no red volume beat. It didn't beat this one out. Um,
Okay.
so you're looking at that. So the break of the 10, but depending on how the candles look, because if it breaks it like this, it might loop the 10, right? That's what Brandon always says. Look at the candles right
Mm-hmm.
here, how they're small, and then it loops
Yeah.
the 10. It looped the 10 with this candle right here. See how it came small
Mm-hmm.
and then it looped it? Psh. Sometimes it'll loop it worse where it closes red below here, and then the next one is green and it loops it and it has one more last pop. But for you, you're gonna say break of the 10. I'm gonna start looking for how other moving averages look like. Um, what's this line again? I'm sorry.
Let me put it.
You could just tell me.
Which one? The red one? The red one is the 50. Yeah, it's the 50 that you're. Yeah, that's the 50
So
SMA.
that would have been your target.
Mm-hmm.
Your lock-in target, like your 75% lock-in target.
Not the 666, because that's the first moving average that was in the middle.
This one?
Yeah, the yellow one right in the middle. Yeah, this
You
one.
I thought that was a trend line, but or a
No,
crosshair.
no, no,
I thought that was
no.
crosshair.
That's my 666.
Yeah, so lock in 75% there and the
Mm-hmm.
rest at the 50.
Perfect.
Rest at the 50, you would hit both targets. Boom, boom.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, that's what you're gonna start asking yourself. Okay, has it broken the 10? Like you right here. Before you even got in that trade, you should have asked yourself, has it broken the 10? No.
No.
Is there a lower high? No. Okay.
No.
Don't get in the trade. Look at right here.
Okay.
The MACD still hella bullish.
Correct. Yep. 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 All right. Yeah. Oh yeah, MACD. I'm gonna write that
And
down
then
too.
and then look at right here, the RSI in the over hot. Yeah, it can come down, but check this out. Check this out. Another little quick RSI lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Your RSI is your signal for the play down. Can you see why? Lasagna Cat, can you jump in and answer why?
Let's see
If
here.
you're around.
Yeah, sure. So signal for the leg down. Well, it was in overcool, and it does I see a double, I mean over hot. So it does a double top and over hot, and then a lower high and over hot, then it comes down. But by the time the right shoulder entry happens, I don't see anything specific in RSI when the right shoulder
No,
happens.
no, that's fine. I was looking for the move that it's going to happen ahead of time. They always say RSI is a lagging indicator. You can't use RSI. It's a lagging indicator. But in this point, this brings up to my point that you can use a RSI indicator. Oh, nice little squeeze. Um,
Looks like Pete the Cat got it. Divergence.
yeah, nice one. So you see the divergence right here? And
Okay.
then
Oh,
this is still going up. So you see, and this is why I hone in on the RSI.
yeah.
Only it's a lot stronger when it's diverging because the relative strength is changing from buyers to sellers with that lower high. It has one more little pop, but you're going to ask yourself, okay, is there lower highs for a short play, right? Is there lower highs on the RSI? Yes. Okay, I'm going to start looking at price action. What's
Got it.
price action giving me? No, price action is still going up, but it looks like it's a rising wedge. Back to a rising wedge breakout. A rising wedge breakout means it's going down.
Okay.
But you being an elite system, oops, uh, you being an elite system, you know that you don't get in without confirmation.
Okay. All right.
So then you're gonna start asking yourself, okay, where is it? This can be a top. Okay, it broke the 10, it broke the wedge right here. Perfect. You could have got in right there if you're that type of trader, price action. You know, you could have got a laser entry because you would have
Mm-hmm.
got in right here
And
at
the
the
break
break of
of the
that,
10. Yeah.
right? And the break of the 10. So yeah, you can get in. Especially you already got the 5-minute tag. Remember, that's what you like to see.
Yeah.
So you got the 5-minute tag, and this gave you the 5-minute tag right here, right? This would have gave you the 5-minute tag, or this would have gave you the 5-minute tag
I don't see where you're pointing at.
right here. This gave you the tag, right? And that's why you got in.
Oh
Or
yeah,
or
correct.
did
Yes,
or was
exactly.
this the tag up
No,
here?
no, it did. No, no, yeah, it did. On the red candle, that's when I got the tag. So I got it.
Um, so now it broke the wedge. Now, since you're using your strategy, it broke the wedge. You're not using that strategy, so you're not getting in right there. What you want to see is a lower high. Boom. You get your lower high, you get your first leg pullback. I mean, I would not put a fishing order out right there because it could like boom go that way.
Yeah.
And that's why I say the two-legged pullback entry, you're catching the momentum. You'd get in right here, stop out right there. And then, like I said, your target for 75% is a 666, and the rest at the 50 SMA.
Perfect.
But you're asking yourself these questions. You know, you're looking at RSI. Okay, over here, RSI is going up, diverging. What's price action look like? Okay, it's going up. But now it looks like another rising wedge. So now you're going to be like, okay, is it going to hold the 50? Because I recommend you put the 50 RSI, just draw it on there.
Yeah.
Because that'll help you be like, okay, it's hitting its head on the 50 and it's hitting its head on the top. Okay, it might come back down. But hopefully you learn something from
Well, yeah,
this
for sure,
trade.
for sure.
But
On this one, I even took it down. I mean, but yeah, when you analyze it that way, yeah, it was. I mean, the chart, the 1 minute was still bullish, so I didn't get the signal to enter on the 1 minute at all.
and that's awesome. You have us to kind of tell you, okay, this is what you shouldn't do. This is what you should wait for. And that's why I love the participation is because we're helping each other. Like PeteTheCat said, you know, he's seen the divergence. And you might not be used to that because you might have barely started using RSI, which is
I
no
just
big.
started. I just
Exactly,
started,
see?
honestly.
And once you start tying it all together, you're gonna be like, whoa, this is fucking crazy. It's crazy how accurate it can be.
I'll get there for sure. So that was. So wait, that was Wednesday. I think I have one trade maybe on Thursday. I'm not sure. Oh, so yeah, on Thursday everything went well. Yeah, it was yeah, on easy peasy, I'll call it on this one. That's my 1 minute, and I also have that's Thursday 1 minute. I also have okay Thursday. So on Thursday, blah blah blah. Again, I think that was a short or a long. Yeah, that was a short on the 1 minute. But I just want to see. So yeah, so everything was bearish. It just popped, and then again I did the play. It popped. I did not confirm. Okay, I did not look for RSI divergence or anything. It popped. I got in. I usually try to follow like a 3-point to
Stop.
stop out. Yeah, to a 3-point stop. So it didn't reach it, even though it went higher, but I was still within my parameter, and it went straight down. And as soon as it passed on the 10 SMA, I locked in 50%, and then I covered the rest right here. That's it.
And this trade is not that bad of an entry because you're on the 1 minute and you got lower highs. So you're with trend. You know, and that's what you gotta this is what you're gonna start deciphering because me, I probably would have got in right here. You know, one tick below
Okay.
and one tick above that one.
That's
So I probably would have got in on this candle right here, on this big red candle. Somewhere in that area.
okay.
But
And your stop loss would be the top.
well, actually, no, I would have probably got in right here as soon as it opened. And it would be right there.
Okay.
The stop. But you got the lower highs right here.
Yeah, moving averages look really good, and
Yep.
RSI hit its head on the 50 RSI.
And
Okay.
oh, and you got your 50-10 cross right there.
Yeah,
Correct,
you
yeah.
got the 50-10 going for you. And Semper taught me this. Right where that cross happens that he just marked off, there is a whole cluster of little dojis. And in your play, once you snap below those, you're in pretty good shape.
Yep.
Because those dojis definitely mark I wouldn't say definitely because who knows if it's all the time or not. Nothing's all the time, but they can
Yeah.
indicate they indicate over unders and they indicate squeeze points a lot of
Yep.
time, or in this case, a dump.
And the more dojis you get, look at right here, you got 3 dojis. That's a really pivot point is what I call them. I don't really fucking know what to call them. Squeeze point, pivot point,
Also,
whatever the
Semper,
word
at
is.
the beginning of your red line over there is that old squeeze point that went long.
Yeah, right here. So whatever was resistance right here became support and then became resistance again right here.
Yeah.
But you got your cross and that's what was signaling. But before that, there was another signal.
The other signal was the MACD was under the average. That's one of the things that I noticed.
Move your syllabus.
My syllabus right here.
Right here, look. Again, lower highs. You see that? I told you that with the syllabus in the way and not even
No, okay,
knowing, but
no.
I knew the divergence was there.
But I don't see. I don't see you pointing anything. I'm not seeing anything.
Oh, but I see what you mean, Semper. It kind of makes like a triple top up there, but in RSI, it's a downtrend.
Yep. And then look at right here. Sorry. Sorry for my laughing.
That's why I was like, I don't see anything. Like you see that, like, no.
Yeah, shoot. Hold on one sec. But yeah, you start to see the divergence, even like right here. And price action is still going up right here.
Yeah.
Right? So you see the divergence. Then you get the MACD cross right there, bearish. Right? Bearish. And then you get your cross right there. Or Connor's cross or whatever. The 1050.
Fingers
Bearish.
crossed. Okay.
So again, the RSI signal that move. Damn, there's some volatility right now. Anyways, RSI signal, MACD kind of confirmed, and then price action confirmed over here with the 50-10 SMA cross, and then you really got the lower that kind of it's too much drawing.
Perfect. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I said, this trade I was confident in that trade, and then yeah, it
And
went
then
well.
like you said, MACD was under in the bottom level. And
Yes,
then
that's one of the things that I started to pay attention. When it's
so
on the
is
bottom
RSI.
level, yeah, it's easy for shorts.
And right there, look, when the 50 SMA lines up with the 50 RSI, big confirmation, big, huge confirmation.
Okay.
But
Yeah, as resistance. Perfect. Yeah.
yeah, and this is where you were with the trend already because it was already kind of. But you see how much clearer, how much easier that was,
Yeah.
and that would be. Hold on, leave it right there real quick. And that would be the second leg because this can be one big old leg if you really wanted to, and you could have entered right here, stopped out right there, right? Or waited for the second leg. And something to note on the first and second leg pullback entry, the first leg is still kind of like 50-50 where it can reverse on you. The second leg is like 75% chance that it will continue going in your direction.
Perfect.
Right? So look at right here. The first leg, kind of choppy. Even if you got in right here, if you waited until way over here, you would have got stopped out. But the cleaner the move is, the cleaner the pullback is, the cleaner the continuation will be. And this is what I mean. Look at all this chop. The first leg, right? This is the first leg technically because of this little red candle or this little green candle right there. That's your first leg. So you could enter on there. but you probably would have, it's all choppy. You don't want to see candles like this. You start seeing
Yeah.
candles like that, you're like, oh, this is chop. I can't trade this. So you just be patient. You got your other stuff. So if you could have stayed in here because of all this other confirmation, you probably, but most likely on trader, you would have got stopped out with this right here.
Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah,
But that goes to my
prices.
point that when the pullback is choppy, like this choppiness, don't trade it. Just wait. Look at this leg. Nice red candles, nice green pullback. That's what I like to see. Right to a moving average that you're familiar with. And
Yeah.
then look at, you get in right there, stop out right there, and look at how clean the play is. There's that play, right? And then over here, look at this choppiness. You're like, ah, fuck, you can't get in right there. But then look at this little pullback. It's nice and clean to your moving average right there. You got the RSI right there at the 50.
Mhm.
And that's a 52, right? Once it breaks above, look at, you're going to catch it right here. Get in on that green candle. Stop out right here. Boom, catch a nice little 5 or 6, 7-pointer right there. Maybe
Right.
even 10. But you're gonna start to see the RSI be the divergence. You'll be like, okay, now you're gonna see the MACD. Remember, they have to be stacked. If this is not crossed and this is like way up here still,
Don't get in.
yeah,
Oh, it's not a short.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because you don't know
Got it.
yet. You don't know.
Hmm.
But then you're over here, you got the cross, you're like, oh shit, okay, cool. This is what I want to see. But yeah, cool.
Perfect. All right. Thanks. I have one last that I'd like to show you because I have a question on this one. It's what happened today actually.
Sure.
Like this one would be very fresh. I think everybody was in that trade. Is it the one that's okay, yeah. So anyway, I have that one real quick on this one. So okay, so I know the chart is looking bearish, but on the other hand, on my notes, I wrote that it's really oversold. So look for a pop. Most probably market is gonna reverse. So I was looking to play long today, even though that I know that the chart were pointing down. So I guess this is market psychology. So yeah, I was waiting for a long entry. So market open at 9:45. First of all, market open, it did that stupid wick that was exactly the spot that I wanted to enter the market. But as soon as it opened, it just did a flash move, and then that's it. And I missed it. So I was waiting for an entry, and then because I was noticing all these wicks, yeah, so which means I guess buyers were pushing the price up.
Yep.
And then this is where I make my entry right there at 43.62, and then I was targeting the 666 right here. So it went up to 43.72 and then it reversed. And I closed that trade for a little loss. And I was like, so stupid. Anyway, on this one, my question is, I don't know, maybe I was too greedy on it because I used moving averages in order to take profit, right? So
Yeah.
it then reached that moving average, but I was up a significant amount still. 43.62, this is right around 72. So yeah, I think I was almost up 10 points, but then I let that trade go red. So I'd like to get some, some advice, some ideas on this one. How could I have handled it?
Um, but we've been short, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've been
We've been short
short.
all week, yes.
We've been short like the last 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
So remember when we're in a short trend, you have to have the the counter trend short mentality. So instead of locking in, if you would have had 10 points, you should have locked that shit in. There's some other players like Susan where she can stay in the trade. I'm not sure what she does to stay in the trade. We'll
Okay.
have to have her on and ask her to see exactly, because she's in the trade and she's catching 20, 30 point plays, but she's in the trade for, I don't know if it's a couple hours or for sure it's longer than, 5, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Um, but I want to ask her like what's helping her stay in the trade. Because the 1 minute sometimes it's choppy as fuck.
Yeah.
But when you're counter trend trading, remember you've been down for 2 days straight. Let me at the max, especially if we've been smacked down for 2 days, at the max, probably 10, expect probably a 10 point play per trade
Okay.
until it looks clean. If it has like a nice, okay, looks like we got um the buyer signal, you know, like on the 30-minute, like it remounts a 50 SMA and we get a buy signal. Um, that's what's helped me stay in the trade a little bit longer, but you're in long here. And today, most of the day, it's been pretty long.
Yeah. Like that's why I said I had the idea that it would be a long day, but yeah, I didn't capitalize. I mean, I didn't capitalize on that play. I did do other trades, which were good, but yeah, I wanted to get your input. So because like you said, we are downtrending, and then at the same time it is a counter trend play to be
Be
more
more cautious.
preservative.
You be a little bit more conservative.
Okay, conservative, yeah. That's what I meant.
Don't don't try to catch a 20 point play. Like you could have locked in like, but this is where candle development kind of helps you, especially with, you know, that little doji.
Yeah. Oh,
That
okay.
little doji right there with that big seller wick right there. I would have said, oh, a break of that doji, I'll lock in some, right? Lock in like 25%, 50%. Shit, yeah, I got 10 points on 50% of my contracts or 50% of my position.
Mhm.
And then I see this doji right here. It's a hammer doji, but yet it breaks the 10 SMA and it broke that doji. I would think about closing another 50%. So now you're at 75%.
Okay.
So like that, if it does reverse and it loops to 10 right here and it goes up, at least you caught not a full
Some of it.
position, but you caught some of it, right?
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. I got
But just counter trend trading, you have to, okay, am I counter trend trading or am I in trend trading? When you're in trend trading, 20 point moves, 30 point moves all day.
counter
When
trend
you're
trading.
counter trend trading, uh, 10 points, like max. Like I usually shooting for 5 or 6, especially if it's been down all day, or if it, like say it's been beaten up all day before power hour. Then for power hour, I'm expecting at least a 6 point bounce, depending on where the moving averages are.
Perfect. Yeah. I wrote that down to take profit sooner on counter trend, not to rely necessarily on my moving averages.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Perfect.
if you want to be able to catch and be profitable both ways, and then you have to know what hat to wear. It's like you're
Okay.
playing football one day, like American football,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then playing baseball the next day. You
Okay.
gotta put the right
Yeah.
uniform on.
Okay. That's that. And lastly, I have, I mean, the rest of the trade today, like I said, the rest of the trades were green. So I did finish the week overall green. And then, yeah, that's it. After that, I was like, okay, it's a long trade. Let's just wait for a perfect entry. And then from there on, I think it's around 10:55. That's exactly there. So that's when I started taking good trades. And then, yeah, everything was green from there. Close. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, it was a good day. It was a good week. I was just disappointed on the day that I was trying to listen into Brendan and then trying to, I don't know, to trade his way versus, yeah, I did deviate from my strategy on that day. So
Remember, so we learned this week to stick to your trade, your plan, that's
Mhm.
what you see. Like, I listen to Brandon and I can listen to it, but I'm like when your mom's telling you, don't do this or else you're gonna, whatever. And we let it go in one ear, out the other. And then you go ahead and you go fucking you you go break your leg or something.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, you stuck to your plan and you got wrecked, and sometimes that will happen.
Yeah.
Just like Brandon always says, indicators are not always gonna work. My strategy might not always work. If I call out a play and I'm way off, I'm like, shit. And then it happens a couple minutes later, and then be like, oh, I was just a little early. So then I reevaluate what I saw early and be like, okay, next time I'm gonna wait for this to happen instead of just trying to predict it. Um, and then how to deal with fear. Trading in the zone
Mhm.
is gonna help with keeping those emotions in check. Um, the next book that I recommend you read once you're done with that is The Hour Between the Dog and the Wolf. And then hopefully by the end of the whole thing, you read 4 books.
Yeah.
Um, and see how your trading psychology has improved. And then by the time we get to market psychology, you're gonna be fucking laser.
Perfect.
Um, so yeah, just keep on reading, take the notes that we've taken
Mhm. Yeah.
today, and start creating rules, because that's what we're gonna get into next week. Is how am I gonna create rules for my strategy? Okay,
Yeah.
I've told you some of the rules that I would have created with your strategy, and you can just take it from there. And if you have any questions throughout the week, let me know. And this
Perfect.
is only rules using what indicators you currently have on the chart. Going into week 3, week 4, we're gonna add a second setup or a second strategy into the mix.
Perfect. All right. Thank you.
Um, sure, no, thank you, man. Thank you for jumping on
Thank
board
you.
and participating. It's teaching me
Mhm.
a lot more learning this
Mm.
way. Lasagna
Perfect.
Cat, I don't know if you have anything to add, but feel
I
free to
mean,
jump in whenever.
I just want to add that I'm following this real closely, and I'm going to start playing easy strategy on Sim and see how it goes, because it's so far it's very easy to follow and it seems really effective, and especially easy hearing you like explain it, and hearing your thoughts on it as well, Semper. It's just like I was anticipating this as a way for me to study and learn a new strategy. So it's like it's real valuable for me. So
Nice.
excited about it.
And it's not that far from what you're using. It's just a different way of using it. And that's why I stress, like, come in here and share whatever your strategy is, because it's gonna help somebody.
It's really funny. It's actually been going on kind of automatically. Like when Easy is explaining his trades, I'm just automatically imagining it upside down. And I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, like because I'm a long player 90% of the time, and like it's just you can relate this stuff, and it's the patterns become apparent, and I don't know, it's good. It's good.
It's gonna help you become a better short player. And
Yeah,
that's what, when we went through your season, that's what helped me become way better at being short.
yeah,
Why? Because I was learning the way you think. And that's gonna be the same with you're having that same effect with
yeah,
easy.
yeah,
And once we get through this, we can be hitting home runs all day. But
yeah.
we
Perfect.
gotta stick
Can't
to the
wait.
process. Stick to the process, all right? Stick to the process. Create
Yeah.
rules, read those books. Because you want to get your mental straight. That was
Well,
one of the hardest things to get over was my mindset.
yeah.
My mindset, and like I said, the biggest thing was that confirmation.
Hmm.
And you got to slap yourself on the wrist when you don't listen to confirmation easy. Confirmation off the 10 or confirmation
Yeah.
lower high. But the other thing that I kind of pointed out a lot was the RSI divergence. Pay close attention to it because it could keep you out of trouble
Perfect.
and set you up. You see how the RSI kind of sets you up for what's coming? We explained it earlier with the divergence. It's setting you up for a nice play. Easy with you. I'm not really setting limits. With Lasagna Cat, we set like a 2 to 4 point scalp limit so he can hit his targets a lot easier. For you, we're gonna just use whatever regular moving average targets or whatever price action targets we'll throw in later.
Perfect.
But yeah, like that Lasagna Cat, he can extend his, if he's still used to like 2 to 4 points, he can start be like, oh, okay, I can shoot for 10. Easy can catch an easy 10 points. You know, that's going to help everybody be able to catch 10 points. And that's one of the main reasons I want to get Susan in here because she's laser. She can consistently hit like 20,
Catching 30
20
points.
points.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, we gotta get in here. We gotta get in.
Ah,
So I'm gonna
crazy.
see what we can do. We might have to switch up days because I know Fridays kind of doesn't work for her. But if everybody's on board and we can schedule her in, I would love to schedule her in.
We gotta do it. We gotta do it.
Yeah.
Because she's knocking it out of the park. And me, I'm just hitting 10, 16 point plays. I was like, damn, how do you have and Pete the Cat says in every room that I've been in, ladies hold for massive moves. For sure they are wired as better traders for than most gents. That might be true, you know. Um, and that's why getting her point of view is just help everybody that much more. And it definitely helped me get better. Um, yeah, James says I feel most of my entries are in chop and end up getting chopped out. I definitely plan to wait for the second leg for entry from now on. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, the second leg has a little bit, or like Easy didn't know what the second leg or two-legged pullback is,
Yeah.
and he knew it as a higher high, higher low setup.
Correct.
So how I explain it might not be the way that it clicks with you. So you can call it the higher high, higher low setup as well. But to me, it's like the two-legged pullback. I know it's probably just had to
Yeah, there's
dumb it
probably
down for
many
me.
terms to say the same things. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it's today that I learned that. I was like, really? Two-legged pullback is a high, low. I was
Yeah,
like, how did I not know that from the start? I don't know.
but everybody learns with different terminology, and I hope that clicks with somebody, especially if you're new. If you're able to participate, please do so. Unmute yourself and chat. We're here. We're friendly. We're not bashing on Easy. We're just trying to help them make, get better. So Easy,
I'm
don't get
still not making
offended if
money.
I'm just critiquing the heck out of you.
Not at all.
But
Not at all.
or
You're a
I'm
better trader than I am. I'm gonna
hopefully
take
I'm not
everything for
doing it
now.
in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? Hitting you with the mallet, like ah. But
It's all right.
nah,
It's all right.
we're here
As long
to
as I get
help you get
better.
better. Yeah, exactly. That's what we're here for.
Perfect.
So thanks everybody for stopping by. Um, Lasagna Cat, did you want to jump in and do a recap? I have about another 13 minutes if you want to jump in and do one or two.
Potentially. I know that a while ago, Pete the Cat mentioned that he has some stuff that he can share if there's any time to look at it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if Pete the Cat's still here or if he's available to do that. But be cool to hear from. Oh, he's here.
He's
Um,
here. Okay.
all right, excellent.
Yeah, go
So
Yeah,
ahead.
hi.
if you want to share your screen or share a
Yeah,
screenshot.
how could, oh yeah, share screen, just a second. All right. Yeah, this one, I think. Okay, let me see.
Yeah, it looks like you're coming in. Yep.
Can you see? Oh yeah, you see my cursor, correct?
Yep. Yeah, I got
Okay.
you.
So but definitely, I'm not like promoting any company or anything like that, but this is a service which I've been with since 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what they do is the reason why I'm sharing it is because of the high frequency trading that you guys have been talking about. So basically, what they do is they have this algo which follows or spies on the high frequency traders, what they are doing in the back alley
Mm-hmm.
that we do not see, and we look for divergence to see if they are selling while the price is going up or vice versa.
Uh-huh.
And it works intraday and also on the large time frame for swings. So just to usually I look at SPY, ES, Qs, and NQ. I only trade NQ. I stopped doing anything else, but
Mm-hmm.
I have to always look at Qs and the NQ because sometimes the price with the NQ is just the algo, which is in phosphoric green. In
Mm-hmm.
here, it's just going with the price. But if you look at this, I will at the Qs, for instance, today. This is the day start from here. You can see that whenever there is a connection, doesn't matter. It's just the direction. Look at it this way. So you can see that the price is going with the price. The algos, they are buying, selling with the price. But then something happened here, as you can see. The price
Mm-hmm.
is going up while they are actually selling down. So it means eventually, or most likely, the price will have to revisit this area again during the day because this is on the 1 minute time frame.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an intraday use. So it went up. Yeah, it went up, but it's doing again a higher lows the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It means they're selling, they're not buying anything yet. They're just offloading. And there's again another divergence in here, a double confirmation for it. And the price went back to the first divergence area. So in here, this divergence had finished. So for me, when I'm taking, let's say, a short in here, in this area, I can see, for instance, my MACD, you know, the usual strategy, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have way more confidence knowing that I'm actually going with the big guys, not against them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So the green line is the market makers or the big
Yes.
guys,
Yes. Correct.
and
Correct.
then
Yes.
the
Yes.
candles are just
This
a
has
price
nothing
action.
to do with dark pools, by the way. They do have a different algo. This is spying on the high frequency traders, and the high frequency traders are spying on the very big funds, trying to jump in front of them and place their orders. This is how they work. So this line is actually where, let's say, JP Morgan, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
is using the similar software. It's been leaked from there for the service, where they spy on the high frequency traders in order to see what they're doing basically in there. If you want to see, for instance, block trades, you can just click here and you will get all the block trades depending on the size. If it's red, it means it's basically normal block trade. If it's a blue, it means it's a dark
Buyers.
pool. A dark pool. You don't know yet if it's a buy or a sell until how the price is reacting to it. And this is live. It actually comes in immediately as we are trading. So once
Nice.
you see it, yeah. So once you see a big block coming here, you immediately think, okay, will it actually continue straight through it, or will it bounce off it? Because it's a large block. If you want to see exact blocks, you can come here, type whatever you want, for instance, and you get all the blocks with the time and everything
Mm-hmm.
live throughout the whole day. So you would know the size of it. You can, control the size whenever you want. They also have a nice feature for someone who likes to play everything, let's say. Let me go to charts. They have this one, which is basically, it's also live. And people, you know, can look at it and choose any stock they want. For instance, let's say at 850, there was a bearish divergence. Oh yeah, you can see it. There was a bearish divergence early in the morning, which played out very well, as you can see. This is live as well. It immediately detects which stocks have divergence and lets you know. Again, this is just one tool to help you execute your plan. It's definitely by no means to as an entry or exit in there. It's just you know, something nice to see. Now, let's say if I switch to the 15 minutes, which is a longer time frame. So you can see here, for instance, at one point they were actually selling. Here, 17th of sorry, this is July. Yeah, this is July, 17th July. So they were selling the whole time while the price is going up. Eventually, the price had to match.
Yep.
And come back
Too
to
much
this
of an
area.
imbalance.
Yeah. So you will look at, you know, the usual, let's say, swing strategies, whether it's standard deviation, or in my case, I look at weekly and monthly Keltner channels. Once it's there and it started to reject, and I see the MACD on the 4 hours, for instance, turning in the direction of the trade, then for me, it's an invitation to actually enter the trade, knowing that, yeah, the price will go here. So I would pick up a target and I will go 6 weeks out. Let's say, either do spreads depending on the stock, or you do a direct, just naked puts, and you go with it. Obviously, again, it's anything can happen. They can change their mind, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's rarely that they do. So, you know, I'll just pick up anything random. You can see what's happening with Google since like ever. Okay.
Yeah.
And what the price
Everybody's
is
shorting it.
everybody's buying it. They are shorting it.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
They're offloading it on us.
So you know
Basically.
you know the big dump is about to come.
Exactly. The thing is, when you look at SPY or Qs, that divergence can be sometimes over a month, 2-3 months. It doesn't really matter for them. They're just averaging in. They have the liquidity. We don't. So this is why I would never, you know, just look at
Rely
that.
on it.
I would, yeah. So what I do usually over the weekend, I look at, let's say, Keltner channels, some scans. So I would look at anything that is on the weekly Keltner channels. I will quickly just share.
Easy says, can you look up Meta?
I will. Yeah, sure thing. Can I move these?
What's the app name? Or what's a?
It's Flow Trade. It's called Flow Trade.
How much does that cost?
It used to be $200 a month, but they've got me a deal some time ago, lifetime for $1,500, because I do help a lot of people in analysis on their system. So basically, for them, yeah, so they cut me that kind of deal. So usually what we do is we look at, sorry, I was looking at PanW today. You can see the pop on earnings, yeah? So what we do is, for instance, at Google, this is Google, yeah. So what we look at, I look at the, these are customized Keltner channels. They have ATR in them. So you have the daily, you have the weekly, and you have the 4-hour Keltner channels, yeah. So they also have, sorry, I'm talking a lot, but I'm just explaining quickly the system, although that wasn't my intention. They have something called cycle points. Cycle points is basically MACDs, when it will slope, when it will cross, and you can have it as lines on the chart rather than the usual MACD. Meaning, I know that the 4-hour MACD will start to slope at 129.07 or yeah, 129.02, sorry, 0.2. It will start to slope up. Why? Because the price will cross it. There it is. This is actually the MACD line on the chart on the 4 hours. And this is the MACD line of the daily. And you can have it as a table as well, where it will give you these things. Oh yeah, I do use it on the intraday, but on the smaller time frame, like the let's say like these. I use the 5 minutes. Right, let me just make it. Yeah. I use it on the 5 minutes, 15 minutes, and I use these smaller time frames, the 2 minutes. So basically, once it's bouncing off the 15 minutes with a bullish entry on the 2 minute MACD, it means it goes up. Usually, yeah. So and in here you can see the rejection points, rejection points, rejection points, rejection points on the Keltner channels, the 5 minutes or the 15 minutes. On a higher time frame, which is here, I look at it on this. Nothing was happening here on the 5 minutes. I was looking at the 30 and the 20 and the 4 hours. Absolutely nothing happened here except for the med. So it's not really important. So my concentration today was on the usual BRT system, plus this, plus the other one. So I look at all of these in order for me to pinpoint an entry. And I do look at, I would never, for instance, fight the MACD. I know that the MACD 5 minutes is just here, for instance, this blue line. I want to have better entry. So I would wait and see what it's doing on it. And then there you go, the takeoff. This is Google, okay? I'm usually looking at NQ most of the time, as that's the only thing that I trade. I stopped trading other stuff. And by the way, the 666 on the 2 minutes and on the 5 minutes is like a gold standard for the NQ. It was just amazing entries today, as you can see here. So basically, that's the whole thing that they do. And I will look at Meta now. Meta. Oh yeah. So there is a massive bullish divergence, as you can see. You can hear me?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, I hear you. I hear you. I knew Meta was bullish. I just
So
wanted to confirm.
Meta has a massive bullish divergence from what I can see. With just looking at this without looking at anything else, I would say it started here, and conservatively, yeah, it's about here. It's let's say till 310, the price target for it.
Now,
Perfect.
you said you can use these levels. So like if I get in right here at 285.
No.
With the,
How do you know that they're not gonna sell? They're not gonna buy more, and the price is not gonna dump more? Because I wouldn't now go into it. I would immediately jump into the standard deviation channels. Then I would say Meta. I would see here.
but technically, like it will get to that level maybe like a month from now.
Possibly a bit more, depending on the the news. They will keep averaging in.
Yeah.
One level which is important to me is usually the outer channels on the daily. These are like, you know, when Brandon says the 30-30 standard dev 1 or etc. Look how it reacts, the price around this. It rarely goes outside it much. Yeah, it sticks within it. Yeah,
Except
within the
that big
blue line.
move.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it will go. It will come back eventually. But of course, this is a takeoff on earnings, but on the bad earnings as well. Funny enough. So it usually sticks there. So we are here. I mean, it can go down. For me, I would never go in here. I know there is a massive divergence for one reason. It's below the daily and the 4 hours and the top of the weekly. It means what we expect is for it to go up, reject, and come down again.
Yep.
Looking at this again, it's a whole thing. So that's why we look at the MACD 4 hours,
Yeah.
which is still in downturn. The stochastics are, on the 4 hours are doing nice in here. The stochastics and MACD, they are both that. By the way, on TradingView, you can get a divergence, but it's delayed on the MACD, on the RSI, but you can see that it's not really accurate because it's giving you red and green at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just leave it there.
No, at least you can see it. That's awesome that you can like see the
yeah,
divergence.
yeah, there is one, let me check the name for it. It's free of charge. Yeah, it's called RSI diversion, KT. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
So I don't think it's ready yet to actually take it up. In fact, it's not in a good place to take it up. Maybe a strong place where it would it be for it is to go even further to around the 246 area here to bounce off the weekly.
Yep. That's the
Uh,
same feeling that I have for ES. I wanted it to fill that gap today.
oh yeah, okay.
And that's what I was
Yeah,
saying. I wanted to squeeze down, fill the gap, so like that next week we can have a nice little bounce.
yeah, possibly because it's it's a very strong support here for it on the weekly Keltner channel. That and it's a higher probability that it will reject here.
Yeah.
There are so much rejection. Plus, you have the 4 hour, the 1 day, the 3 day, the 1 week MACDs sloping and crossing against you.
Yeah.
You only have the 1 month and the 3 months with you, and not even the crossing. So it means I wouldn't want to go against that much of a trend and
Yeah,
catch a
exactly.
falling knife. Yeah. So even if it has a divergence, it's not. It's a no go for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's good to stack it with the elite system because you can really get laser with it. That's awesome.
This is why I said, it's I combine both things at the same time. So I have the elite system and I have this, and since then, not a single red day.
Nice.
In fact, in my journal, I think I'm about 98
Don't
green
say it.
trades
Don't say it.
in a
Don't
row.
say it.
In a row.
Better knock
98.
on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. Yep. It's crazy to see it this way. And I'm taking less trades. I think today I took 6 or 7.
I
But
think that's a lot still, honestly.
that is a lot. It's because I'm scalping for 10 points on NQ.
Yeah.
And that's it. I don't want more. So
I would say keep it to between 4 and 5 and you'll be good. And you'll get even more consistent.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. I love to hear that it's working out. I know that I've had crazy green streaks and it seems like every time I said, "Oh, this many days green streak," I would the next day I'd be red. I was like, "Dang it. I jinxed it." So I always say, "Shh, keep that to yourself. Just keep on. Just say, hey, keep the green streak is live. Keep going."
And just to add on the evaluation accounts, they helped me big time. By the way, they helped me big time in, I wouldn't call it in discipline, but I don't have that pressure that I have to make X amount in my personal account. So I am trading my personal account every single day, and I am reaching my daily target just on my personal account.
Nice.
And that the other stuff is just pushing it. So what I do is usually the start of the day, I don't start with my personal account. I start with the largest accounts which I have and really nicely padded from the evaluation. I start with these, my first trade there, because I do want to, you know, I do want to see nice green in there. So I go with that one. And usually it's after 10 a.m. I don't like to trade early. So I go with that one. I see the green, then I'm more motivated now to switch to the funded and my own and trade with them. You know,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, keep it up. I've been seeing your, consistent greens. That's the way we like to see it here,
Yeah, yeah,
and we're glad that we're
yeah.
able to help
Thanks.
you become more
Oh yeah,
consistent.
for sure you
And
help.
that Flow Trader, are you an affiliate to it, or are
No,
you?
I am not. I am not. I am
No,
not. I
you're
am
not an
not. That's why I
affiliate.
said I'm not really promoting them. I'm just because you were talking about high frequency trading.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's why I wanted to show you that there are services which actually spies
Yeah.
on that one. Now I am using their service, their web version. They
Mm-hmm.
have just recently released a
Client.
complete a platform,
Mm-hmm.
very similar to NinjaTrader, fully loaded with almost everything that you can think of with
Oh wow.
indicators, including live, free of charge, not extra,
Mm-hmm.
live, basically order book, like
Wow.
Bookmap, similar to
Yeah.
Bookmap, and
Yeah.
they draw the lines for you where the orders are
Huh.
and how they stack them. So, but I don't use it. I'm just too lazy to to set it up,
Yeah.
basically. So I'm still using TradingView, NinjaTrader, and their web version. But their platform version is even nicer because you
Wow.
can see the algo there right on your screen while you are trading.
Nice.
Yeah,
Maybe when you
yeah,
have time to set it up, you can show us. That would
yeah,
be
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. On
would
the yeah.
would there be a way if you can like uh like put a screenshot in the chat showing the divergence on ES and SPY on Sundays and maybe like in the middle of the week?
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If
As I
if
said,
you like, if not,
I
it's
do. No,
okay.
no, no, no. I would. I don't mind sharing, and they don't even mind that some people share. Uh, um, uh, I would always post both SPY and ES because sometimes the divergence is on SPY.
Hmm.
Today, for instance, just quickly before I'm sorry, guys. I'm keeping you.
No, no worries. You're fine.
For instance, on SPY. Uh, Today, for instance, on SPY, I've noticed it, well, although I'm not really trading it, but there you go, here. Okay, let me remove all these blocks, it's crazy. Yeah, you can see that the price is going down, everything is fine, everybody's happy, and then here, see the price going up while they are sneaky guys are selling, 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 selling.
Yeah.
And look where the price happened. That's why I knew this is gonna reject in here for sure.
Yeah, that would
But
be
again, I was in
awesome.
NQ. So next time I will let you know, guys, that there is a divergence. Just watch out. Hey, it could go up and they could still be selling. And
Yeah.
then towards the end, they would crash it for
Hmm.
whatever reason that they want. And then they continued selling. And then that's it. The
Yeah,
price
they,
went up together, etc. At this end of day prints, it's just you ignore. It's not real. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and
that.
Spy only works from 9:30 till 4, while
Uh-huh.
ES works. And by the way, they have everything, including all these features. Even Bitcoin, which if somebody's interested, yeah,
Oh,
all
wow.
these features are there. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe include those block orders. That would be helpful because those block orders they show where those block orders were executed, right?
Oh yeah. They come live. I know now it looks crazy a lot, but
No, that
during the
helps
day,
me.
as the day opens up, it's fine. But by the way, when this came at 11, here you see this. I usually call them diamond in the sky.
Yeah.
These are really strong ones. I mean, that's why when it came, that's it. It's a delayed one from here because this is a dark pool.
Yeah.
But once they appear, it means this is extremely strong
Yep.
place, and it may not, even if it visits it, it will bounce again. It's not gonna continue down.
Yeah. Especially when you're going with, you know, that, and that's the thing that I want to use it for is you're going with them, not against them.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, you cannot win
And
against them.
that book, The Hour Between a Dog and a Wolf, that it explains a little bit of how frequency trading works, and then if you read that book and you watch this chart like you do,
Yeah.
you'll understand it way better.
Oh, yeah, I will definitely do that. I might actually get the Audible version and
Yeah, I
listen
like
to
to
it.
listen to books. I'm not really a reader.
Yeah, while I'm on the treadmill or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay,
For
great.
sure.
Thank you so much,
Oh,
guys.
thanks, Pete. And keep it
Yeah,
up,
thank
man.
you.
You've been killing
Yeah,
it.
thank you. Yeah.
Easy. You got the little homework assignment, finish up trading in the zone, and then start creating rules for your strategy. And then next week we'll dive in on how to exactly get your rules locked in laser, so like that you can start using them and applying them to your strategy. And yeah, if you finish trading in the zone, jump into the hour between the dog and the wolf and just keep on trading your daily goal and your, remember the way that I like to scale up is the second week, because you hit four, try to keep track of how many green days you had versus how many red days. So like you said, you had 4 green days and 1 red. That's awesome. That's what I like to see next week. Hopefully you keep it up. Um, get 4 out of 1 again, and then the third week we're gonna scale you up from 500 to $1,000 or maybe 750. But yeah, thanks for sharing, Pete. Thanks again for sharing. Thanks everybody for stopping by. um Y'all have a great weekend. See you guys on Monday.